Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to be talking about a little transformation that I did over the past 4 months in order to finally get a six-pack. So today I basically wanted to make a video and show some of you, if you're struggling to get a six-pack as well, that you can copy basically my style, because I basically copied this style from someone else, and you guys can use it to your advantage and hopefully get a flat stomach or get some six-pack abs that you've always wanted. So a little backstory on my six-pack abs story. I never once in my life had six-pack abs, but it was something that I really wanted to get. You know, ever since I saw guys like Zac Efron and others on screen, I always wanted to have that. I didn't really want to work hard to get those abs. Like, I would look at it and then I would go home and eat, you know, what I wanted, and I didn't really work out at the time either. So it was kind of contradictory on what I was doing because I wanted something, but I wasn't really working towards getting it. So it wasn't until this year actually that I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a six-pack and I'm gonna figure a way out to do this. So one of the things that I knew what you had to do was that you had to be in a caloric deficit, so you had to be burning more calories than you had to be putting in. So I knew that for sure, but there were times where I didn't really know if I would be burning more calories than I would be consuming. So to give you guys a little bit of context behind this, around 5 or 6 months ago, I went on a dirty bulk. I think it was about July. It was around June of 2019. I went on this bulk, right? I wanted to get really big and I wanted to put on like 20, 30 pounds of just mass. And I did it, but honestly, I put on so much fat that I was starting to realize it in my face when I put up YouTube videos. One specific YouTube video that I saw was the one where I did why I quit porn. I saw my face there and I really realized how puffy my cheeks were and how kind of more bloated I was looking. And when I saw it, I was like, is that really how I look? So after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop at 2 months, which I did. So after 2 months, I had put on around 20 pounds of weight. So I went from 154, I believe, to 175. So I put on 20 pounds in 2 months worth of time. And so I realized after that, okay, I needed to shed off all this fat because I don't really want to look like this anymore, and I went about it completely wrong. So now is where I get to the point where I show you guys exactly what I did. So one of the things that I did was that I basically did the macro calculating method. It's basically where you have a certain set of macronutrients and then you kind of take those and you kind of alter them based on what your body, based off what you see from your body week by week. So when I started losing weight, my initial macros were, I believe, 225 grams of carbs, 170 grams of protein, and 50 to 60 grams of fat. Right there. So I copied that method for about maybe like the first month, and I saw, you know, my weight go drastically down. I got to a point where I was like 160, and I think the next month I kind of took away 25 grams of carbs, so I was at 200 grams of carbs. Same with protein, same with fat, so it was like 170 proteins, 50 to 60 grams of fat, and I left it there. And then around the 3rd month mark is where I believe I got to, you know, back to my original weight, because in total it took me about 4 months to do this. 4 months to completely get a six-pack and lose all the fat that I had gained on that dirty bulk, because I had never been below 153, I believe. Like, I'd always hovered around that 153, 155 pound mark, and it never went below that. So I remember it was around a week or two after my birthday that I finally got to about 150, and I thought that 150 would be the weight that I would finally see my six-pack. And I kind of did, but it was under the right lighting, and I had to flex really hard, and if I didn't do that, then you really couldn't see it. So I realized that I needed to go a bit further this time and lose more weight. So after I got to about 150, I decided to lower my calories to about 15 to 1600 calories. So I was eating around 150 grams of carbs, 150 grams of carbs, 170 grams of protein, and then 50 grams of fat. And that was basically my macros for the majority of the last month or so, like I think 3 months, and then the last 2 weeks of, I think the 4th month, was I did a week of 125 grams of carbs, 170 grams of protein, and 50 grams of fat. And then when my final week came, I realized that, you know, I'm pretty much at the tail end of this whole cut, and I was really getting tired of it as well because I was eating so little calories that I was really missing eating more food like carbs because I kind of did feel like I didn't have much energy when I went to my job or when I worked out, and it was kind of getting to the point where I was kind of getting sick of it. But so eventually I said, okay, this is going to be my final week. I was hovering at around 145, 144 at this point in my final week. So I had gone pretty low, and the lowest I've ever been in my life. So one of the things that I did was that I did this whole week-long prep, and where I basically lowered my carbs for the first 4 days of the week. So I started this prep on Saturday, and Saturday I basically ate 80 grams of carbs. On Sunday I ate 80 grams of carbs. On Monday I ate 50 grams of carbs. On Tuesday I ate 50 grams of carbs. And then Wednesday I believe was like 30 grams of carbs. Thursday was 30 grams of carbs. And then Friday was a carb update. What they call is basically you want to take in as much carbs as you can to replenish your, I think, muscle glycogen and your liver glycogen. And then they, I read this from a YouTuber, and he said that basically what carbs do is that they fill you up and kind of push your muscles to look more fuller, which is what people do in bodybuilding shows. So I did that for about a week, and this was the results of that. When I took this picture, I was around 142 pounds, which was the lowest I've ever been in my life, while still having some sort of muscle to show you guys and having veins. And that was the point where I realized, okay, I have the six-pack now. I've accomplished something that I always wanted to accomplish, and now it's time to bulk up. So I basically gave you guys the macros that I was following. For example, I am 5'10". My initial weight was 175 when I started cutting, and from what I've read and what I've seen, you want to consume at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. So that's where I got the 170 number from the proteins. You want to keep at least 1 macronutrient low. So I chose to keep fats low, like around 50, and then carbs was, put the rest of my calories for carbs. And so that's what I did for basically the majority of the 4 months. Cardio, I started doing around 2 sessions per week, usually like around 300 calories per session. And then as the weeks passed by, I started slowly adding more cardio. So around maybe like the 2nd month mark, I was doing 3 sessions, and they were all 300 calories each. And then I think in the final month of this cut, I was doing 4 cardio sessions a week, and they were 400 calories each. I didn't do any HIIT sessions because I was already losing like a pound or 2 per week, so I thought that was already good enough, which is what people want you to do. A pound or 2 a week is pretty much fine. So I was doing that without needing any HIIT sessions. I was burning 400 calories per session 4 times a week, and that is what worked for me. That is the cardio that I did. You guys can modify it based off what you guys see on the scale and how you guys feel and look in the mirror. And workout plan, I basically just followed this plan by this guy called Brandon Walsh. He put it up on his Instagram for free, and I kind of just followed the most intense plan that he did. Ab exercises. So the ab exercises that I did, I basically followed them from a YouTube video. I did 2 YouTube videos. One I did on Monday, and then the other one I did on Wednesday, and then I would just kind of switch between both of those videos. So one of the videos was by this YouTuber named Ryan something. Here's the thumbnail if you guys want to check that out. And then the other times I would work on my abs would be this other video that has like 94 million views. It was actually pretty good. My stomach and my abs felt sore after every single time I did both of these exercises, so I felt like they really did work. So I basically would work out abs 4 times a week, and both videos were about 7 minutes long, but they had minimal rest, so they were really high intensity workouts where you got a little rest and you really worked hard on your abs for those 7 minutes, which I felt was good enough for me, and it did work. And yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the info. If you guys are struggling to get your own six-pack, I want you to know that it's not too hard to do it. You just gotta stay committed, and you'll slowly see the results you want. You just gotta stay committed over the long haul and not just think about it as a short-term goal, which it's not. Yeah, one final thing that I have to say about abs is that they aren't really that hard to get. It's a very simple process with just eating less and burning more calories, and that's pretty much it, and doing certain ab exercises. And if you guys just stick to a routine over a consistent time frame, then you'll honestly get your abs, and you just have to wait on it. You can't just expect for them to appear the next week or in 2 weeks. You have to really work on that and be able to grow them and just be patient, because abs just don't happen overnight. You really have to be in the gym, cut off a lot of body fat to be able to see your abs. And I'm not really genetically blessed like some other guys are. So I felt like I really had to work, you know, even harder to actually show my abs, because I was never a guy who was truly blessed with a skinny physique, who I had natural abs. So this was a moment where I was actually pretty proud of myself, because I actually was able to show myself that you could actually do this if you just put your mind to it and you didn't you know, you didn't quit like all those other times that I tried to get a six-pack, where I was basically unhappy that I didn't see a six-pack within a week, and then I was like, you know what, screw this isn't worth it, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want. But yeah, just take your time, patience is key, and just stick to a plan, and you will slowly see the results you really want. Thank you guys again for watching this video and for being supportive, and I will see all you guys again next time. Thank you.